ladies and gentlebeards. Welcome to this edition of Carl's Bearded Banter with me, Carl, the guy with a beard and a bit of banter. Now, I'm going to do a little interview today. I'm going to be joined by a new friend of mine, Daniel Docking. He has his own YouTube page called, bear with me, Doc's Bearded Reviews. That's the one. And he also runs a little thing called the Beard Portal, you may or may not have heard of. So, let's bring him on, shall we? And here's the man himself, Daniel, or Doc's Bearded. What do you prefer to be called, mate? Let's get that from the offset.
We're going for Docs. It's probably easiest. To be fair, I've been called a lot worse over time. So, yeah, mainly from the missus, but yeah, we stick with Docs.
I feel your pain, mate. Okay, thank you, Docs. Thank you for joining me in Carl's Bearded Banter. You are now with me at Banter Towers. We're only in the broom closet here at Banter Towers, but it's lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me and having me in today.
No problem, mate. Well, I've got some questions because you are a fellow tuber of the U. You do your reviews and stuff like that, but you do it quite a bit differently to what I do anyway. Now, before we start on that, would you like to let everyone know your YouTube page, what it's called?
Yes, and my YouTube page is docs_bearded_reviews. So on the YouTube is mostly sort of where I do my own sort of podcast and a few extra bits and pieces. But the reviews themselves, I actually write my reviews up, which is where they are obviously a little bit different. And the written reviews are on my own website, which is docsbeardedreviews.com.
docsbeardedreviews.com. Thank you for that. Now, we'll go straight on to that. Obviously, I've had a quick look at them, some of the reviews. Like you say, you do stream with other people. You get a lot of people on, like I'm doing now with you, and you chew the fat, shall we say. But on your reviews, I've noticed you get the family involved, or the little ones anyway. You had your daughter and son that I've seen on there.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember she scored one of the oils. Out of 10, she scored it something like 1,010 and 15 or something. So that was a good score for that review, for that product. I'm sure he was happy with that.
It was, yeah. It's obviously the kids, they see me sort of doing all the beard stuff, and they're an integral part of sort of what I do. I'm a family man, so yes. When they see me walking around with all these beard products and I've got me notes, and they're always asking, can I smell this? Can I smell that? So obviously the kids nowadays, they like to watch all these unboxing videos. So I thought to myself, well, let them join in. Let's have a bit of fun with them. And yeah, so they sort of jump in. They do a few unboxing videos with me. My daughter, Freya, she's actually known within the community as the Baroness of Beards, which that title was given to her from John McCourt from Big Fat Beard.
Okay.
Which right. I know obviously you've had it on recently.
I have indeed, yeah.
But yeah, the kids are fantastic. They love it. They get involved, and I think it's part of who I am. So they're part of it, basically.
It's brilliant. It's nice to see that. It's a bit of a different way of doing it. It's better than just a boring someone like me. So they're going, oh look what I've got here. We'll open this and have a look. Get the kids got what they think, because especially at the younger age, they come up with all kinds. You have no idea what's going to come out of their mouths. You can't really script it for them, can you? It just made me chuckle. Out of 10, what you're going to score it? Something like 110 and a 15 or something. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
and then your son was on there, and it became apparent that it was it was review for. I can't remember now. I want to say audacious, but it might be wrong. But you turned around to him and says, "What's come from apparent from that is you don't like soap." Yeah. It was the bar of soap that he was reviewing.
Yes,
was it a charcoal soap or something? He said, "I preferred a lemon smell or something like that."
Yeah, I think it was one of the soaps which we was doing at the time. But the contrast in the two kids are massive. Obviously, my daughter is there's no filter with her. She just absolutely goes for it. And then my son is a little bit more reserved. So He's kind of, I wouldn't say camera shy, but he's thinking about what he should be saying
Yeah,
on camera, which is good to see,
of course,
because
yeah.
he's conscientious. But overall, it's just nice to get their opinion, because obviously when you're there and you're wearing these products throughout the day, as being a family man, the kids, they come up to me, they give you cuddles and they give you kisses, and they nuzzle in on your beard.
Yeah,
So
they're going to get the smell.
they're going to get the smell. So if they don't like it,
Yeah,
that's
of course.
they've got every right to say it. So it's something which they enjoy and I enjoy.
I agree. I mean, I've got one son. He's 15 now. There's no chance I'll get him in. Uh, from his point of view, he's no way he's going to come online with his dad. Do you know what I mean? That's way too uncool. But what can you do? Do you know what I mean? I'm just an
Well,
embarrassment to him. But
at that sort of age, you may even struggle to get them to nuzzle within your beard.
yeah, yeah. I mean, unless I turn myself into like a PlayStation or Xbox, then do you know what I mean? It never leave me alone. But
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah. So I thought that was nice to see that. I did like that little touch there with the family on your reviews there. But you don't just do the beard review stuff there. You like you say you do. I mean, you chat to quite a lot of different reviewers, don't you, on the page as well?
Yeah, yeah. So it's something which obviously is trying to get involved in the community as much as we can.
Yes.
And for me, I get involved with other reviewers. Obviously, as you do, you get involved with companies, but it's the people in the community as well. It's sort of realistically, it's just trying to be a point for someone to talk to. If a reviewer needs help, and obviously, I'm in a position where I've had the luxury of being able to use quite a few products and review quite a few products, and I get quite a few reviewers come up to me and they go, "Dan, how did you feel about this one?" And
Hmm.
I'm getting this sort of scent, but it doesn't say that on the label. Did you get that? And it's nice to be able to just conversate and
Yeah.
not necessarily sort of help out, but it's just, as you said, it's
No,
just
just
being
shared
that point.
opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a simple. Yeah. Do you know what? I think that was really nice. I think that was right. Yeah. Or once again, it's no. Do you know what? It didn't really suit me, but for someone else, for a different reviewer, it may be perfect. And it's nice to have that sort of conversation on opinions. And
Yes.
it's for me, it's fantastic to find out as well, because I still do it with products which I'm sort of going to review, and if I know another reviewer has used them, I'll quite happily sort of go and say, look, what's your opinion on this and that, and we can go from there.
Yeah, I do think that's a good idea actually, because there are the people out there. I've tried to contact a few people, and they are the ones that think if there's another reviewer, then you are my enemy. You know what I mean? I've got my sights set on you. I'm not having nothing to do with you. Which I think is totally wrong. People are entitled to their own opinion, because the old World Wide Web is a big place. You know what I mean? We're not. It's not just in my little broom closet here in Banter Towers, as we say. It covers the whole of the globe. So there's lots of room for everyone in there. And the more you involve other people, I think the bigger your reach comes, and the more support you get from others, rather than trying to keep it secular and keep it to one place. So I've got to give you the big thumbs up for that, mate. I do like the way you've done that. You've made this community. Now I know you've got the Beard Portal thing. We'll go on a bit about that in a minute. But I see, like you said, with your reviews, or if you're reviewing something or you're unsure about this scent, you may get in touch with somebody else who you know that has reviewed it, and just get their opinion. Now I know it's not like you're asking them what to say. You're just thinking, do you think, it's just kind of clearing up any rough edges into sort of thing. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it's also expanding your knowledge
Of
as
course it is.
well. So, I mean, there's many things which I'm still learning about. There's new sense which I'm still learning about, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. So if there is someone out there who has got more knowledge than me, or especially in sort of certain sense which I haven't dabbled with before, or
Hmm.
carrier oils which I haven't dabbled with before, then I think it's fantastic, because I'll quite happily go to them and go, do you know what? I've never tried. I believe it was benzoin was one which I hadn't tried till a little while ago, and I went to a fellow reviewer and I was like, what's the smell supposed to be? Um, and that's the idea behind it. Is if you go and talk to fellow reviewers, companies, and sort of anyone with that, and trying to extract a little bit of knowledge,
Yeah, yeah.
just that you can grow yourself, and I think that's really really important. Not and obviously whilst doing that, it also builds a community. So
Exactly.
it's kind of a win-win for everyone, really.
Yes. You're kind of big. I mean, you've got a YouTube page, but you're quite big on the old what's it called? I can't even think of its name. The instaweb job or the what's it called?
The
Uh,
Instagram, yeah,
Instagram, instaweb. Yeah, so, I know.
yeah.
I'm talking like I'm 94 or something. I'm not that old. Come on. The Instagram page, yeah, you got quite a good following on there. Do you post reviews on there? Because you can give me a bit of advice here because I don't know what do you use this Instagram page for. I thought it was just stick a photo up and that was it, basically.
So originally I was posting reviews on Instagram themselves, and there's quite a few reviewers who do that. However, you're only allowed 2,200 character limits.
Okay.
That's the character limit, which when you're trying to do a review, it's very hard to try and get everything you want
Yeah, of
into
course.
and sort of within that character limit. So originally, when I first started reviewing, sort of around about a year ago, I was doing it with a few other lads, and we basically formed a review group called Bearded Bear Reviews, and that's sort of how we was doing our reviews. We was typing everything up, and it sort of become very popular. We've done our own podcasts and stuff like that. But once again, the deeper you're trying to get involved with sort of the scent profile and the carrier blends, and you sort of try and describe the positives behind everything, you soon lose so much, and you have to sort of cut so much out. Which is when I decided to go, right, I'm actually going to build my own website. And then sort of after that point, it gives me a lot more freedom to be able to be a lot more creative and sort of just sort of really flow through sort of some of the descriptions. And I mean, at the moment, a lot of my reviews on the website are around about the sort of 5,000, 6,000 mark for characters.
Yeah,
So there's a massive deviation of what I used to do to
yeah.
what I can do now.
I saw like
Um,
entry level exam sort of quota words, isn't it? Degree
yeah,
level. So
yeah, pretty much. But once again, once you sort of as you sit in there and you start flowing, it kind of just starts to come naturally, and you start to sort of think of all these sort of the similes and everything, which kind
hmm
of just joins together. And next thing you know, you've got a lovely long sort of descriptive paragraph of the scent profile. And for me, being a written reviewer
hmm
more than a video reviewer,
yeah,
it's really important to express sort of the smell. It's all well and good. Obviously, we sit here on a video and we smell it, and you can describe it really nicely. But when you're just
on a
someone
written
who's supposed to
page.
be reading that on a page,
Yeah,
it's really hard to sort of put that feeling
yeah,
across. And that's another part of the reviews as well. It's the feeling you have to put across. Once again,
yes,
when you're on a video, you can say, "Oh, it just makes me. It's such a warm cinnamon scent. It makes me feel so great. It's so Christmassy, and do you know what I mean all that type of
yeah,
stuff."
yeah,
Whereas when it's on a piece of paper
yes,
or sort of on the screen in front of you, it's very very hard to
yeah.
put that across.
It is. Sorry, it's also like if you're doing a video review, people can see it in your face whether you're liking it, or, whether you're ecstatic or really upset with it, repulsed by it. You don't get that on written word. It's just all they get is everything you write. So you have to be as descriptive as possible to get that feeling across, which is a hard thing to do. It's not a lot of people can do that. So where did your writing skills come from? Is it something you've always been into, or is it something you picked up just getting into this?
So I wasn't great in English at school, so it's not a natural thing
Yeah.
for me. However, sort of later years, over the last sort of 6 years of my work, so for my work, I'm an invasive species surveyor, so I have to do sort of long write-ups of surveys, and I do sort of legal write-ups. So my English development and sort of writing has had to evolve
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
quickly, which has been lucky for me because it's then allowed me to sort of step into this process where I'm a little bit more confident with the writing skills. I mean, don't get me wrong, I sort of look back at some of my original reviews when I first started. Um, and it's it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's cringeworthy. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's part of that, again, it's the learning process. But if you hadn't done them first ones, you wouldn't be where you are now. For anybody that's thinking about doing it, blogging or vlogging, writing it down or going with the videos, the best advice I can say is just go for it, because you'll make mistakes. You'll probably make yourself look silly or be embarrassed with it. But until you do that, you'll never learn and you'll never progress. You have to go live, or you have to do the first one and learn as you go along. It's a learning process as we go along. I'm learning now. We all are.
exactly. Yeah, it's something which, as you said, being there, seeing the first sort of few set of reviews and rereading them back, I'd love to be able to sort of go back and rewrite them as well,
Yeah,
just to feel like I can, because I know I can do better
yeah,
now. But then he's saying that probably if I'm still doing this in a year, 2 years time, I'll look at my reviews now and
of
probably
course, yeah,
still the same.
yeah.
It's natural development, and it's something which I'm not ashamed of, but it's still, as you said, it's a little bit cringeworthy just to read them back.
Yeah, of course. And like I say, it's nothing. Again, it is. You're right. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just the starting point for that individual, be it me, you, or whoever else it is. It's where you started, so it's something to take a bit of pride of. You might be a little bit embarrassed with it, yeah, but you know, people wouldn't even do that. Some people out there are too afraid to put pen to paper or to put finger to keyboard or whatever one you call it, or put yourself on camera. There's a lot who won't do it. There's a lot who are not prepared to take that risk and put themselves out there, because that's what you're doing really. You're expressing yourself and putting yourself out there, putting yourself for everyone to see. So there's a lot of I've got to have a lot of respect for anyone who does that and gets involved. One of my things is I was super shy, and one way to beat it is to get in front of the camera and start doing it. And putting it out there.
Yeah, yeah. It's the, the the camera is probably more of an issue for me. It's sort of, once again, if you can hide behind a screen and you can write a review up, um, but sort of when you step in front of the camera, it is very, very different. You just got to go for it,
Yeah.
and it's something which I speak to sort of quite a lot of new reviewers, and it's the same. I give them the exact same advice as what you've just said. You just got to go for it. And one thing which I always say is to try and be different. Don't copy the
Yeah.
mold which is there. Don't copy me. Don't sort of copy yourself or any other reviewer. Be you,
Yeah.
and sort of try and create your own sort of area. And I mean, luckily, some of the reviewers who have come through, they are doing that, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see that more people are getting involved, and they are sort of talking to myself and talking to other reviewers and talking to companies to get advice.
Yes.
And as you said, you just got to put yourself out there. You just got to go for it. I mean,
Yeah.
if worst comes to worst, if it fails, it fails.
Yeah. At least you tried. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know if did you give us your website address before as well? Just give us your website address again, just in case.
Yes, so the website address is www.docsbeardedreviews.com.
Docsbeardedreviews.com. Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay, then next bit, mate. We'll go on to about you've got the little symbol there above your top corner,
yep.
top right, the beard portal. There you go. Go on. There you go.
There we go.
There we go. You got it. It's hard, isn't it? UK Beard Portal. Obviously, I do know about this because I've just recently sort of discovered it and got involved. You graced me with you graced the pages with my presence, or however you want to say it. No, well, forget it. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Hang on. I don't mean your grace because
It,
of me. I was trying to say
it
I'm.
works.
Do
It
you know?
works both ways. So I know what you're getting. Don't worry, it works both ways.
No,
We both help each other out.
I was thinking about deleting this, but I might just leave it in, just show the fluffs that go along with
Yeah,
regarding it as well. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, it was. I'm honoured to be part of the Beard Portal. That's what I'm trying to say. But do you want to tell people out there about the Beard Portal, what it is, and where they can find it, and so on and so forth?
yeah. So the Beard Portal. So the website itself is ukbeardportal.com. We also do have an Instagram, UK Beard Portal. We have a Facebook page, UK Beard Portal as well. And the idea sort of come to me, whether you want to call it sort of divine intervention or just me being smarmy. It just sort of just come out the blue, really. It was trying to think of a way to kind of bring companies, the consumers and reviewers together, because unfortunately, sort of being sort of within the Instagram sort of bearded community, it's very segregated. and
Yes.
unfortunately, it's not nice to see. There is this sort of divide there, and there still is now.
Yeah, it's
Let's not
exactly what I
lie.
was saying before. There's that divide and that kind of
Yeah,
secular attitude to it.
exactly, yeah, and this is something the portal sort of come to me as this idea to try and bring people together. I think for me, it's a case of, well, we can then bring in these reviewers who are sort of, in sort of my eyes and in the committee's eyes, they are trusted. They're sort of they know their stuff, and to be honest, it's just sort of giving that complete collection of everything. So it's it's for the users to know that the reviews which are going are honest, the companies are compliant, and it's just almost a checker trade
Yeah,
type type thing for obviously reviewers and companies.
yeah,
And this was something which I do with Tony, the bearded Brit, and without him, the portal probably wouldn't be running because he takes on so much of the admin side, whilst I do sort of the stuff on the website. Tony's the sort of hidden voice behind it all,
yeah.
and sort of without him, it is an amazing project. So it's something which we do together, and it's growing. It's growing really, really quickly, which is nice to see. We've had loads of companies want to get involved. It's it's all completely free. I do it in my spare time. Tony does it in his spare time. So it's basically just an area where we can get people together, and we're looking at new ways to encourage companies to sort of progress themselves. So the idea at the moment is we're potentially looking at a badge system, and the idea with these badges are obviously the companies which we're using are brand new. Sometimes their labeling's not correct,
Yep.
and that's a learning curve. And I'm not going to sit here and penalise people and say you're doing it wrong. It's you shouldn't be trading. So what we're going to try and do is like a badge system. Go right. You've got 90% of your labeling, everything is correct, but there are one or two few things you've missed. So you've got a silver badge. If you get that gold badge, then all of a sudden you've got everything in place. You're 100% correct. And it's that learning curve for everyone. And
Okay.
it's stuff like that, which, as I said, the portal's there to encourage people, to help people, not to hinder. And it's for me, it's something which I'm really, really proud of
Right.
and the idea, what we're trying to do at the portal is, like I said, because they are brand new companies, they are sort of one man bands, so to speak. It's trying to help them and guide them. So, look, this is how you need to do it. This is how you need to be better.
Yes.
And overall, it's to raise that level within the community rather than finger pointing and going, "You're doing it wrong.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're wrong." And for me, that's sort of the separation. We're just trying to help people.
Yeah.
And I've done it to quite a few companies where I've done the review and I've spoken to them privately after, and I've gone, look, your labeling's it's wrong. You've got, I mean, a couple of them they've actually got the wrong ingredients on their product label altogether.
What?
Because they've gone to the printers and they've come back and they sort of wasn't checked, and
Oh, as I
it
say, yeah.
and that's what I mean. But because these people, they're working their normal 9 to 5 and they're trying to do everything, silly mistakes like that can happen.
Yes.
And this is sort of where the idea is like I said, not to hinder someone, not to finger point and call them names and stuff like that, and be like,
No, no.
the idea is to
Yeah.
be like, look, this is a mistake. Look, let's try and to improve it. Let's encourage you to improve it, because at the end of the day, I can't force people to do stuff.
No, of course
It's
you
up
can't.
to
No.
that individual.
Yeah.
But if I can help and encourage them to do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. I mean, what got you into checking it all out? Was it just because you were doing the reviews and you thought you'll look into this information, or was it just, again, was it something that you've picked up, or?
so it was an evolution of the reviews. So obviously, as a reviewer, you're always looking at ways to try and stand out, be a little bit
Yeah.
different, and sort of progress. And for me, it was something which I started to get involved in only a small amount with sort of bearded bear reviews. because we made an affiliation with a couple of testing labs. And so when these companies would come through, we would say, look, kind of, you haven't got your products tested. You go to this CPSR testing lab, and they'll approve it. You sort
Right.
of we would recommend.
Recommend that lab sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so then obviously from that I started to look into, well, what is actually needed, which is where we obviously found out about the CPSR, we found out about the labels, and then it's sort of general progression of talking to companies as well. So talking to sort of like John from Big Fat Beard, talking to Callum from the Bald Viking, and Andy, who I used to do Bearded Bear reviews with. He actually runs his own company now, called Beard Tings.
Right.
And that was the same process. He was looking into that, so we sort of just kind of all naturally evolved into that process where we started to find out about the true legislation and what's truly needed behind it. And unfortunately, as I said, that information, is not, it's murky. It's not very easy to find out because there's so much misinformation there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, once again, there are companies out there, and there are loads of websites out there which say what you do need is 100% correct, but then there's
Yeah.
just the same amount which says the opposite. This is at least something where, if I'm dealing with companies, I'm talking to companies, I've got the correct information. Well, at least what I believe is the correct information anyway.
Yes, of course.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I can sort of guide them and go, right, this is how it should be being done. And yeah, so far it's working pretty well. We've had some really great positive feedback, by the process which we're trying to do. Because I have seen it in the past where there are, sort of reviewers or sort of other people and within the community who they condemn these companies who aren't sort of doing the correct process,
Mm-hmm.
which I completely understand. I understand why they would do that,
Yeah.
but on the same side of it, that doesn't help that
No.
company. And I think that once again, that's the aim, is to help rather than hinder.
Yeah. That's help people get on the right track rather than slander the ones who are on the wrong track, as it were.
Exactly. Yeah.
That just sounds like a good way to do it. Listen, mate, this has been a fantastic little interview. Really enjoyed it, buddy. Thank you for joining me. I
Thank
hope
you.
we can, we'll do something again in the future. Hopefully, well, from my point of view, I think it'd be fantastic. Um, Good luck with everything. Good luck with your site. Good luck with on the instaweb, as we now call it, and the Beard Portal on your website and your YouTube channel. So all the best to you, mate, and I'll see you in the future, hopefully, buddy.
Yep, definitely. Thank you very much for having me again.
Cheers, buddy. And all you ladies and gentlemen, birds. See you later. Toodles.